Okay, today we're filming in a different location. My shop cooler isn't working, so it's way too hot, so I moved inside my house. I have one of those nights where I feel like I hope I got everything, but I'm afraid that maybe there's something that I could be missing, so we'll see how it goes. I have a lot of stuff I have to bring in, and I think I'm good to go, so we'll see. All right, so the camera angle and everything, I'm trying the best to get it with this, but I don't have, in my shop, I have the tripod that connects to hooks on the ceiling and hangs down here. And in my house, I'm not gonna put a hook in the ceiling just to do so. I'm gonna do my best to try and make sure you guys can see all that. Maybe we should move a little closer. Okay. I'm doing a 50-ounce batch today because we're going to be doing some piping. I am going to be making a grape soap. I'm going to call this one Gorgeous Grape. And I am doing a Nature's Garden Grape Happy Camper candy. It smells really grape. And we're going to be doing a swirl and just seeing how everything goes. Hopefully that this one does not accelerate too fast. We're gonna try some different things and stuff and see how it goes. So I'm gonna take my stick blender and we're gonna pour the lye solution in here. And again, it's gonna be the loud part. Some people do their piping separate. Sometimes I do, but for today, just because it took so long moving it in, I'm gonna go and try and blend and do the piping to see how everything works together. If it doesn't work, well, you'll see, and you know, we can only just try. And so I mean, I usually do it that way too. I mean, 50-50. We'll see how it goes. So what I'm gonna do is start blending, and again, this is the loud part. So I'm just doing it until I see a trace. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I get my spatula and scrape off a little bit on there. Not too bad. And I'm just gonna set this here. Actually, I'll put this here and my spatula there. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's still really kind of, it can be a little bit more mixed in together, but we're gonna be doing that with this. So today I we're gonna make a mess over here. Okay, well today I took rose pearl mica and I put a little TD in it. And I mixed that up in here with some oil. And I'm gonna put that in there. And I made my own unique blend using some Nurture Soap, Neon Purple. And then I put in, because that one is, I'll show you the inside. It's really bright. I like it. Sorry about the shadowing. But I wanted to kind of make it a little bit, I wanted it to be bright and deep. So then I took some of this Orchid Purple mica, and I put just a teeny bit in there. And then I'm gonna be with my piping, we're gonna do an Eclipse Mineral Glitter mica, and that will be mixed in. And I put a little bit of the pink in the piping bag, and we'll just see how this is. I made a little mess here, so I'm gonna get a spatula and see if I can get that cleaned real quick. Sorry guys. When you're not in your natural habitat, it throws you off. So I just gotta try and get this fixed. I knocked over some of my coloring. I just don't want it to get on my floor. Which we did a little anyway. Okay. Hey, if you don't want messes, what can I say? All right, so I'm gonna separate it for the main part into two. I'm gonna do, let's see, I might change how much is in each one, and We'll see how that goes. And then the rest of this, I won't need that cup. I'm gonna pour in here for, maybe I'll pour more into this one. And then the rest into the piping, and I'll mix the piping after I do the rest of this. So, we're gonna be putting our fragrance oil in and our colorants, which I've mixed this time into some of the carrier oil. I just took a little bit out and did that. And so we're gonna see how that goes. I see a lot of soapers do it. I don't know whether or not it's better than the other way or about equal, but I figured today we're gonna try it because I want it to be really fluidy. And so I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna pour that in. That's the one that spilled. I'll just put that in there. And scrape out. I need to get some of those little teeny tiny spatulas that I've seen. Royal Soap has some. Katie got some from somewhere. They're pretty cute. I should probably look and see if she has it listed below. And then I'm gonna do this one and see, and I'll just, maybe I'll move that so you can see a little bit. And this, inside it, it's gonna be really bright, but all these will tone down a little bit, as you know, when you put in soap. But this one, we're just gonna see how that looks. Okay. And then I'm just gonna put these messies there so they don't tip over on my counter anymore. All right, so I'm gonna just move this one back. And so for this whole thing, I'm gonna be using all this bottle. It's 4-ounce bottle. It smells really good. It reminds me of Bubblicious, like the grape bubblegum and that. And so I'm gonna pour a little bit in here. I will be adding this fragrance into my colorant too, in my piping. But we'll put, okay. I should have poured it in a clear container, but it's getting late and I know that lighting's gonna be an issue. So I'm gonna do right here, let's see if I can get it so you can see it, and do a little hand swirl and see if I can get it pretty close to mixed on its own. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. Some soaps that you have in your head and they don't turn out the way that you planned. Some soaps end up, well, I say feel that one's thickening up. It's a real good thing. It's not bad, it's still fluidy, but we're gonna go mix this one by hand. And hopefully we have no problems with any ricing, because I can stick blend it too, but like I said, I want it to be really fluidy. And so, right, I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think? And then this one too. I'll make sure I got the bottom. All right, and so I am gonna grab this. So we're gonna be pouring in here. And see, nice and fluidy. I think I'm just gonna pour the whole thing in here. Okay, I'm bringing it closer so I can scrape it better. Get all of that out of there. I think this soap is gonna be one that I know my grandson will like. Making a mess over here, always do. He's made a couple of melt and pour soaps. He's too young still. He's only, well, he just turned 6, but he's still young to do anything or to be around the light. Not that everybody feels that way. It's just we all have our own opinions with kids and such. And he's a little bit hyper and such. And so he just gets excited. Not hyper. I just would say maybe more so get excited. And so with that, I just rather be safer than sorry when it comes to him. Okay, And then I'm just gonna do, it's not as fluidy as I want. I know part of my problem is that I got pomace, olive oil. I might not be saying that right, but I usually get the refined A, and it was cheaper, and the other one was out of stock, and I wanted to get my supplies because I hate going without soaping, as well as I got a bunch of orders that I need to fulfill. Wipe my hands off, and so I'm gonna take this spoon, and I'm just gonna flip it around. You've seen me do this before with one of my other soaps. So I just kind of want it to be mixed in, not too terribly much. Let's see, a little bit more purple, okay? Then we're gonna put it in here. But anyway, when I looked up on it, it says that it can accelerate a little, so, you know, I think that's what it is. But I love my olive oil, and I love my coconut. Let's see if I make sure I can turn it for you. I'm certainly glad I held off on putting any fragrance oil in the piping. So we're just gonna get this in here. It's not too bad. And then I'm gonna stop right there for a second. I'm gonna push down and make sure that I'm trying to get any air bubbles out the bottom. And then I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna do a tap, and I'll do it down on the, well, I'll do it right here. It'll be okay. Got hard counters. If it gets, so any air bubbles come right up. As you can tell, I'm a beginning soaper. I've only been doing it a year, but it's also been a busy year, so it's not like I do it every day. But I'm getting, so I do it more because the orders start coming in, and people have, I mean, especially olive oil and coconut. I'm going to be doing one that has shea butter, coconut oil, and olive oil in it, castor oil, and sweet almond oil. I'm calling that recipe the good stuff. So I think that one's just going to be so moisturizing. And then I think I will do Tessa Silk. I made one soap one time with Tessa Silk in it. I was kind of, it was unusual, and I was like putting it in, and I thought at first that it wasn't going to blend in, but then it slowly started to dissolve, and I was so happy that I did it. That one's still curing, so I have yet to try to see if there's a difference. A lot of people say there's quite a bit of difference, so I scraped out my bowl. With Tessa Silk, that adds just a little silkiness into it. And heck, you wouldn't mind having silkier, softer soap, especially if it makes your skin feel that way. So always I'm getting everything everywhere, but we're just trying to push down on the sides. So here's a little tip and trick, okay? I had a soap the other day, and it had blowholes in it because I didn't tap down, and it accelerated so fast, and I was so worried about it. I'm just trying to get those air bubbles out and make sure it's good. I was so worried about it, and I was feeling like this soap was no good. And then I remembered a trick that I heard on somebody's channel. And I can't remember who it was, and I'm sorry if it was you, but they talked about the end pieces, when they're fresh cut, they are like soap dough. And so what they do is they take it and they put it into the holes and kind of, you know, you work it in and smooth it out. You have to do a little extra cleanup when it's all done, but that fixes that problem. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius. So I am gonna try that. I tried that with that soap, and it ended up working out just fine. It fixed the whole problem. All right, so this here is just the glitter colored for this piping. I don't think I've ever filmed piping, but it's one of the things that are kind of like a love-hate relationship. But I'm gonna move this to the side. My piping skills have actually, and here, this one is really fluidy. So we're gonna want this fragrance oil to definitely accelerate it. And that mica hasn't gave it quite the shade that I wanted it to. So I see the glitter in that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of this one, the orchid, and I am gonna add it in. Because we have to have our top with purple color. So let's see how fast we can do this. I'm gonna probably have to stick blend it because that is not fluty, it's a powder. Making it look better. I think I might need a little more, and we're gonna definitely need that. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of TD in it too. Always have it just in case I need it. And then I think I need a little bit more. Figuring it out on the fly. I'm trying to be more organized, but you know how it is? I mean by trying, like I've even, okay, don't laugh at my, and I spilled stuff on it, but don't laugh at my writing and that. But I'm even trying to do soap designs. We'll see how that goes. This video's turning really odd and you guys are like, what am I watching? But we've all been here soapers, and even if you're not a soaper, heck, at least I'm entertainment, right? So I will take this and see if I can just do it as lightly as possible, but I'm gonna need so that I don't have any mica pockets. Scraping the sides. That's loud. Go back in with the spoon and scrape and do another little swirl after I get all this off. This video is going to be so long with the piping. I'm going to definitely have to do some editing. Katie with Royalty Soaps has been talking about Skillshare, and I watched one video on there, but I'm going to start doing some of those classes. I think, I mean, like torch craft stuff and that I like to do, but the whole computer and editing and that I am lost at. Why am I doing YouTube videos? Well, my daughter she's my business partner, and she wanted to give that a try, and so we're doing that. She's got lupus, and she's systemic lupus. There's different types of lupuses, and she has not been feeling good, and so I've been doing all this. She'll do the computer stuff. So I meant to do lines in here, but we're just gonna see how it looks. We got a little bit of pink mica mixed in the oil on the sides. It should cling to the sides and that when it comes out. I'm gonna push this in here, and I can tell it's still pretty fluidy, but we'll see what we could do. It's not too bad. I never piped before. I didn't mess with piping bags and that before I started making soaps. And then I started piping, and I'm nothing where I can make roses or anything like that, but I had made 2 cakes the other day, and I used my small piping tips, which I actually haven't used for soap, but they came with it. I used the bigger ones, and I made my son a polka ball cake, and I just piped the black, then the white bottom and the red top, and then the same thing came around with my little Jaden. Oops, I need to sit up a little bit. Hopefully I can film that part. But my little Jaden, he wanted a flash cake, and of course everywhere I went I could not find any flash decorations, any flash action figures, anything along those lines whatsoever. And so I mean, I went to the cake stores and they didn't have anything, and so at that point I was like, oh man, because that's all he asked, was he wanted a flash cake. So Grandma made a flash cake, and I did the symbol with the lightning bolt, and I did a stencil with that, you know, the powdered sugar to do that, and started with the yellow in the middle, and then we did the white around it and did powdered sugar, you know, like so I could see the little different lines, and then filled it in with the rest of it with the red, and it looks so good. He was so happy. But you know, sometimes the little things are what matters. So okay, let's see this part here. Try and get up close for you as well as do it. And I, again, am not the best piper, but heck, we're trying, and that's what matters. And you see some of that pink coming through? So we're gonna just see how far we can get and decide how many rows we're gonna do. I'm hoping to do 3 and then 2 and then the single one. And then I have embeds. There's so much work when you do these kind of soaps, but they're so much worth it. But the time to make embeds, in my embeds I did a little detailing of work on my own, and I'm gonna try and scrape this up a little. Painting the different colors, I should say. I'm not making sense today, it's been a long day. But those kinds of little individual things change the prices. The high top soaps obviously are more work than just dropping something in here. The planning and all that stuff. So my soaps are nowhere near what some people's are, but I've like seen some people that were commenting before saying they think it's crazy because some of the soapers, they do their soaps for like $12–$15. But my goodness, between the cost, fragrance oils cost, when in China everything went up, we got notices from all of our vendors that their costs are going up too. So that passes down. It's just the way it is. But you're paying for good quality. You're paying for something that has been handmade. You know all the ingredients in it. They're not made by some factory machine. They're, you know, you're paying for that handmade quality. It's the same thing with blankets. When grandma makes a crocheted blanket for their grandbaby, that one is just so much special. The love that went into it, rather than going to the store and buying one of those ones that the machines make. I just think it's funny. But you know, on an average, my tall soaps, depending on them, would be $7 to $8. So I think that's not too bad. I do that because I know that this is kind of getting a little stiff on me and acting up, so bear with me. But I do that because I know mine are not the best, and etc. Sometimes some of them, depending on what I put in there, will be a little bit more, but that's my average for my tall soaps. Because I've counted my cost, because I buy in bulk. Come on. And that is me making a profit, but not upcharging so much. I don't go and get some fancy labels. I make my own here. I think that helps. But you know, as prices go up, of course things will, but let's hope we always can be that low. All right, so it's coming out where it's having a hard time on the end, but we'll see how that goes. We're gonna do the middle one and try and just do that, and maybe get a second row on top, make it really high. Oh my goodness, and this one smells so good. It's so hard when you smell the soap to not want to take a bite out of it. I loved gum when I was a kid. And my son Christopher, he loved bubble gum. That kid, if he had money in his pocket, he would be buying it. Yeah, of course, had to buy his own bubble gum machine. Okay, so these tops are kind of, you can kind of see, probably or not, they're not being the prettiest thing, but the ends, I don't know if it's me or what, but it's okay because we're gonna put something on top of that, and you won't even see the tips of it. Soaping by Kim. Oh, darn it, that one, we just really, okay. My goodness. I live in Nevada, so when I say that my shop is too hot to soap, it really is. Put maybe a little bit more on this end. Maybe a good idea, maybe not. All right, looks pretty good. We're gonna do embeds. So my idea of this is like kind of in between a grape soda, grape everything. So what we have are grape popsicles, and he got the sticks separate. You can tell the detail at work on that. Gotta have grapes. And then I have little round balls and little straws. And we're gonna see if we can get them all in there. Let's see, hopefully this doesn't take too long. So I'm gonna try, I don't know if you can tell, but I have lines marked off. So that's kind of where my cutter will cut. So I don't necessarily am as good as piping perfectly so that they line up with the cuts or where the cutter will cut, but you know, that's why also if I make a mistake on this, I have a single bar cutter and I can do that. They're pretty much so, it should be good. And then the ends here is what I'll have where I'll cut so that it will have a little end sample piece. And then we will, that should be right there with the line. The end sample piece, that's what I was talking about that you can use for soap dough. Ooh, look at that. It's like my arm's tingling. That's why you should wear long sleeves, Kim. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. I'm sorry you're in for the long haul. But you know, if you've ever watched any soaper that you started watching, and they started out, see how that looks so far? They started out with their soap videos looking kind of, you know, like a homebrew video. That's what I am doing right now. And then they only get better. So I'm hoping these, I might end up definitely have to cut these ones singly. These ones might be too wide. We'll see. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go. I know you don't see this, it's kind of hard because I'm trying to line up, but I'll flip it around. But I think the wise choice on this one, because I don't think I'm doing too good a job. These are probably a little too wide, but I don't want them to be in there sideways, so. And the other ones are even wider, we'll see. We are very much all over the place here. Oh, but they're gonna be so good. And I think every soaper has one soap that they've made that they felt were their favorite. How does that look so far? And for me, and so these I am gonna try and put sideways in though, because they are too big, and I'm gonna put it where the bite side out, and I think this needs to be there. And for mine, that is my lime margarita soap. Oh my gosh, that one just smelled so good. I put less in the store than I planned to because I've used one and then I used it up and then I had to go get another one. I'm just gonna have to make another batch. That fragrance oil, I'm pretty sure was a Crafter's Choice fragrance oil, but the whole thing, the way it went, and the way it looked, oh, it was so pretty. So I usually get 9 bars with my cutter. And so let me see, what do I got here? It's 3, 6, and 9. I'm not too sure what's going on with that. And I think I know what I did. Oh my goodness. I think I have too many. That's okay. We'll redo that, and I'm gonna stick on this end one for my grandson, so I'm gonna put a white ball. So I did too many. 3, 6, 9. So then, yeah, okay, but look, that's not too bad. And then this one's gonna be my grandson's because I have one less. And then we're gonna put right here the little straw. This one, anyway, with all this is gonna be with the straws and all that, a hassle to cut. So single bar cutter it will be. I've not yet filmed one of my cuttings, but we will in the future. I usually make soap on Tuesday. I didn't this week. Put that one up a little bit, went down too low. And cut on Wednesday. And then I get to watch my little baby Grayson. I need one more straw and I'll do that afterwards for Jaden's bar. Okay, so kind of wild, I know. So what is a soap without glitter? I have issues with glitter. I'm gonna do the super sparkle glitter on it. And then I am gonna do, there's so much purples on there, so I think I'm gonna do this one, which is a mix-up. I don't know if you can see that too well. There's some pinks and silvers in there. And I didn't remember my duster, so what I'm gonna do is do this and just sprinkle it by hand. And that will add just a little bit of color glitter to it. And I will spritz this with 99% rubbing alcohol. As you usually see me do. It's a lot of glitter, I know. And of course I left it over there. Helps with soda ash, as well as helps those embeds stick in. Okay, so it's a really long video, I know, and this is all over the place, but that would be our Grape soap. Hope you like it. It should be in about 4 weeks. That's like around August 20th. We'll be into our Etsy store, our Creation Lab. And follow us on Facebook, our Creation Lab, and like and subscribe. We'll be trying to do more videos. At least you can find either I do really wonderful soaps or you can learn what not to do. That's up to your opinion on what I'm doing. All right, so thank you for coming and we'll see you later.